Hello, people. It's kind of weird for me to do like a live video because I really don't do those much. And plus, I'm trying to fix my hair, which is not going my way. Seriously, if anybody ever does their hair, it's like, it doesn't ever go their way. That's what's going on with me. I'm trying to fix my hair, but other than that, what is going on with you people? Actually turn this a little bit. Anyways, it's like kind of dark in here. Make it a lot brighter, you know. There we go. There's a lot going on in the world right now. I mean, so much devastation with people, you know. I have a lot of opinions on that. And I'm sure in my last video I was like talking about my daughter Mariah's book, and you know, because she passed away almost 2 years ago. I can't believe it's almost 2 years. Seems like yesterday. You know, she was just here, and she was 19. She died of Ewing sarcoma cancer. It's a type of cancer that gets, you know, a lot of tumors, hard tumors in your bones. It affects your tissues and bones at the same time. And she had like in her knee, her left knee, she had one. She had one, a big mass like this when she was first diagnosed. A couple days after her 17th birthday, which sucked. Right side of her hip, and it went all the way into her lower back, and it was intertwined in her spine. She went through a lot, you know, and there's so many young people, smaller kids, I mean, getting this cancer, and 10 people a day get it. And it's sad, you know, that so many people are suffering from that and it's not talked about. So I decided to talk about Mariah, what she went through, and also about her book. I mean, she was there we go. That's more light on me, I guess. Oh my gosh. I seriously need to learn how to do my hair right. I swear I do it so wrong all the time. Like I am now. That's a funny video, isn't it? Mariah was a beautiful, beautiful person, and inside and out. I mean, she would make anybody laugh. Um, she didn't judge nobody, unless you know they kind of deserved it. I mean, the only way she would judge somebody is if other people were getting picked on because of what they look like, where they come from, what they went through. You know, having an illness, having disabilities, um, they get cast aside a lot. You know, it's another thing that doesn't get talked about much because so many people are talking about their looks. It's like, really? Do you think I care what you look like? I mean, look at me. This is the morning, and I don't even care what I look like right now. I mean, there's people that are suffering way worse than me, and my family's going through struggles themselves. But there's people that are dying every day. Why? I mean, there's people getting deported for no reason, and some people are like, "Well, it's people that don't belong in our country." Well, do you know how dumb you are saying that? Because our country, the United States, is actually based off of different cultures. Who actually stole land? Yeah, this was Native American territory. What was the name of it before America? Seriously, does anybody know? If anybody can tell me what it was named before America, I would really like to know. Because I think that that'd be interesting to know because a lot of us don't. That's part of history. Mariah loved history. She loved world history. And she wrote her book called The End of the Rose, and it's a very good book. In fact, I have it right here. See, anybody who's seen this book, like on Walmart, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, it's my daughter's book. My son, Steven, 23, he did the cover himself. So City Book Publishing was happy to do a cover. Cover. Can't even talk this morning. He did the cover, but City Book Publishing published it. And where I live, it's obviously not in a red zone state because my life would like really suck right now. It was actually there's actually blue states that are getting screwed over. Does anybody know what state I'm from? Because I'm in a state where there's free childcare. My state's the only one that has that. And also, we're not doing what Trumpkin says. And my state actually is not funding ICE at all. So anybody from other states that are trying to do that too, good for you. I'm happy you guys are doing that because it'll bring so much more funding to your state that are suffering. Because 90% of it, I think it's 90%. I could be getting the numbers wrong, but ICE gets most of that funding. And Trumpkin is sucking people dry. I don't even know why people are afraid of him. He's disgusting. I mean, more and more people should stand up against him, and those that are, I'm glad you guys are, because it gives a lot of people that can't speak for themselves, it gives them the courage to do that. Or the ones that have a hard time talking, that can't talk, it gives them an opportunity for somebody else to voice it for them. I don't care what people think of me. I really don't. All I know is I keep seeing all these videos with people getting hurt, getting killed. For what? This is way worse than when I was a kid. I mean, yeah, there were some things that happened that weren't talked about, which was very shameful. There's also not a freaking fake ass president. He's not my president. He's not. I don't care who says that I should respect that because I don't. I respect anybody that says he's not because he's not. He's a traitor to our country. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, he's the best in the world. Like, he's made our country better. Explain that to the people that are being killed. My heart goes out to all those families that have lost loved ones because me and my husband know what it's like to lose loved ones. There's a lot of us out there that have lost loved ones, whether it be through horrific things or illnesses. My daughter passed away. Mine and my husband's daughter passed away, and she suffered. Anybody who knows somebody with Ewing sarcoma cancer or has children that have had it or have it, any other type of cancer that these kids go through, kids only get 1% of funding in pediatrics. It's sad. Our daughter Mariah's a doctor, oncologist, pediatrics. Or pediatrics. I'm sorry, I can't talk this morning, like I said. And I can't get my camera right. Okay, there we go. Seriously, the lighting and everything. It's like, whoa, there we go. Now you can see my scary ass. Does it go this way? Yeah, it does. I'm still fixing my hair. Oh my gosh, you guys would be laughing at me right now. I feel like a little kid, when you put a ponytail in and it's like it doesn't go the right way. It's like, wow, I didn't even know my ponytails are like that. I seriously didn't know they were crooked. I just put them up and go, because I'm at that age where I just don't care. Anywho, anybody who knows how to put a ponytail in right, let me know. Anyways, actually, these kids, Mariah's pediatrics oncologist said only 1% of pediatrics gets funding. And that's why there's no cures for cancer or, different things. And it pissed me off. And I was like, why? Why is only 1% going to pediatrics? But yet some people seem to think that, oh yeah, they get funding all the time. They have enough money for this, enough money for that. If they did, then why do they ask for donations all the time? Why are these kids dying every day with no damn cures? So I decided that I am going to stand up for all these kids that are dying every day and adults that are dying every day from different illnesses too. And also those are being murdered for no reason. I mean, and people being deported for no reason. I got some family in Minnesota, and I have to say, I got family all over. I got family in California. I got family everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but when I saw what was happening in Minnesota, it pissed me off too, because I'm like, why are they even allowing ICE into their state? Here's a question that nobody's asking, and I've been asking this: why are they even allowed to stay in Minnesota's hotels? Think about it. Why are they allowed to be there? I mean, in our state, they're not even allowed to be here at all. Our governor is actually protecting our state from these idiots who think that they can come in and take over. No orange, foul mouth, whatever. Have you noticed his mouth looks gross every time he talks? It's like you want to just put a diaper over his face. Seriously, he's frightening. It's not even Halloween yet, but yet he comes out all the time. Have you noticed that when he turns like, and today we're going to talk about this, and today we're talking about that. But he never faces forward. Unless he's like in your face. Like, do you want to see that face all the time? I wouldn't even want to be even looking on the TV. I don't watch him on TV. I'd rather watch the Teletubbies than him. No offense to the Teletubbies, I never understood their language, but okay. But seriously, have you noticed? Like, and today we're talking about this. And today we're talking about this. Oh, and Biden did this. Kamala did this. Obama did this. Oh, by the way, Obama's not an American. He's not from the United States. Okay, here's some information for you. I've watched his niece, okay? I watched Mary. I have her YouTube channel. I really like her. She speaks the truth. I mean, she's upfront. She's nothing like him. She's normal. He went from being white to orange. There's something wrong there. I mean, I've never liked him, even since I was a kid. I've seen him on TV, and then he paid some judges. Kamala is to me, I think she's the president. I know she is. The only reason why she's not is because she's a woman. It's about time our country has a woman president, don't you think? Doesn't matter what shade of color you are, where you come from. There needs to be a woman president who could actually treat everybody with respect treat everybody with understanding and compassion, no matter where they come from and who they are. And wiping out Black people history, really. Wiping out brown people's history, their lives, wiping them out every day. There's even white people. I mean, we're all shades of color, like I said, are suffering. Our whole country is suffering, no matter what shade of color you are, what country you're coming from. I don't get it. We wouldn't be a country if it wasn't for other countries. I mean, this land was actually native land. You know, there's natives all over the world. And do you know what native actually means? It means that's where you come from. You're native to that land. See, I've had ancestors that were from here. You know, I've, I have, I had a great grandfather that was native Pueblo, so yeah. My great grandma, I don't know where she was. She was really short. She was like 4'8". She was really short. Um, I got Spanish, Norwegian, Swedish, Pueblo native. I mean, there's probably more cultures than I am. I don't know. I haven't done a ancestry DNA test. But my great grandparents came from Norway and Sweden. My great grandparents came from Spain. So, you know, what's Trump gonna do? Split me in half? I mean, split me into a piece of pie pieces and just have my body just go different directions because part of me wasn't from here originally? Well, technically, he's not from here either. He's actually from Scotland. His mom came here illegally, and his kids were not born here. They were born in other countries. Did you guys know that? His wife is not even from here. She doesn't even have a citizenship. She's just married to him because she was brainwashed when she was younger. She is, what's the word here? Not just brainwashed. There's a good word for it. I will think of it later, though. But she's not from here either. And I don't think they have any room to talk because Barack Obama, he's from here. His mom is from here. His mom was from Hawaii, part of the United States. Come on. His dad, I think, was from Kenya, but they got married. They went to college. They made something of themselves. Is it because Barack Obama has Nobel Peace Prize and Trump doesn't? Is that it? I mean, is it because there's the Obamacare and Trumpkin doesn't have that in his name? What did he create? Oh, chaos, destruction, murder, child assault. I don't know what kind of words I can use on YouTube, but I'm trying to be careful on what I say. But when you harm a child like that, you're disgusting. And when you're for somebody like Trumpkin, if you're for him, you're disgusting too. It's like you want your child to get assaulted. These boys and girls. I mean, how many are out there? I mean, there's even, I wouldn't be surprised because I call him Vagina Vance. I have these different names for people. There's Vagina Vance, and then there's Dumpty Trumpty, or Dinky Doink, whatever you want to call him. That was a joke. Forgot about one of my kids what the joke was. It was funny. It's about Trumpkin. It was just, one of those jokes that you're like, oh my gosh, I should have wrote that down. But my older son told me about it. But still, there's just so many people. It's sad. And then there's some people that are like, I'm still for him. He's making our country great. They're so far up Trumpkin's butt that they're stuck up there and they can't even get out. It's like that joke. How many lives does it take MAGA to change a light bulb? They can't because they have their head so far up his butt. Yeah, that is funny, But again, I do appreciate all those standing up against him and his cronies, maggots. Village of the Damned maggots. Have you ever seen Village of the Damned? If you ever watch this movie with these kids, they're born at the same time. I don't know if it's a Stephen King, Wes Craven sort of movie. I'm probably wrong with those two. But it has Kirstie Alley and I forgot the other actors' names. But these women, they end up getting pregnant because of the water. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. And these babies are born at the same time, like I said. And then they all look similar. Like they both have blonde hair. They dress alike. I mean, have you noticed that Trumpkin and his maggots dress alike? Their suits are despicable looking. And why is he wearing blue? Why are they wearing blue and red? Aren't they being hypocrites? I mean, because aren't the Democrats blue? Next time you watch him, or his, whatever you want to call him, his socialites, his little prima donnas, his little, Sasquatch people. Seriously, I don't care what I call them. I don't. But if you ever watch Village of the Damned, or it's Children of the Damned, or something like that, watch it and you'll know what I mean. But I'm sure there's an older movie called Village of the Damned. I swear, Children of the Corn. Don't ever live by a cornfield, people, because you never know. Those kids might pop out. I've never really seen that movie. I really haven't, but I've seen, glimpses of it, and seriously, it's just pathetic. They keep talking like this. What's her name? Caitlin Lovett. How old is she? 5? Does she actually know what our country's based off of? Does she realize that America has 3 parts, not just 2? Or does she think America is just the United States? Does she not realize that Puerto Rico is part of the United States? Bad Bunny is part of the United States? Why do people get so pissed off because it was at the Super Bowl? Big whoop, who cares? Halftime show's the better part. I thought it was exciting. I thought it was a great show. I really did. I mean, you can get people into it. It doesn't matter where they come from. You just get up and dance and appreciation for it. And my family were WWE fans. I have a Alexa Bliss jacket. I got that for Christmas. My sister got it for me. I was so excited because Mariah, she was such an Alexa Bliss fan. And anybody who's a WWE fan, who watches it, there's some things I don't like about it. No, I do not like the fact that, there was a picture of Triple H and Stephanie with that dinky doink orange douchebag. I don't know why some people in wrestling don't stand up against that, Maybe they're being threatened. I don't know. But it's not worth my job to be with a company that's for him. And I don't know if Triple H and Stephanie understand that. I mean, her mom is pathetic. Pathetic. Getting rid of the Department of Education. Do you realize what the Department of Education does? I probably said that wrong. Education. Has anybody had their meds this morning? Because I have. They haven't gone through yet, but I have. Okay. The Department of Education actually helps children that have disabilities. They help adults that have disabilities a lot. And coming from somebody that knows people that have disabilities, it's pathetic how they're being treated. And we got kids that have disabilities, and it actually helped Mariah finish school while she was sick with Ewing sarcoma cancer, a pediatrics cancer. I mean, there's older people than her that had it or have it, you know. There's people all over the world that have been getting it. So doctors saying it's very rare. They need to check their facts before they open their damn mouths. And all this protocol bull crap that they go by, that they follow, it's not working. We need to find more medicines to help cure this. It's devastating to watch your own child get sick, and there's nothing you can do about it. Any illness needs a cure. I know people with dementia. I know people with mental illnesses, you know, that, yeah, there's people that are really, really, really psycho, not all there. Yeah. But then there's those people that aren't, you know, like that do have schizophrenia or schizoaffective. Schizoaffective is schizophrenia and bipolar put together. There's people with depression, anxiety. There's other mental health illnesses that people judge, you know. There's a lot of people with those illnesses, believe it or not. There's also, you know, people with autism, and that's, you know, they're really smart. And I have a nephew, well, two nephews that have that, and they're very, 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 very smart, very artistic. Our youngest daughter is she's going to be diagnosed for that because it's hard to diagnose with girls, from what I'm told, because they seem to think that girls that are like that have ADHD and that's it. Well, our daughter goes from here to here, but she has to have her stuff a certain way. She doesn't like her stuff touched. Seriously, she puts her dolls a certain way. She puts her blanket a certain way. She is like that. And she's a beautiful little girl. I mean, I'm sure you've seen her. She's on those videos I have. She's going to be 7, and I can't believe that. I mean, time flies. I mean, she's 7, going to be 7. Her younger son's going to be 12, and they're having a hard time, you know. Our older son's going to be 24. I'm like, I don't even look old enough to have a 24-year-old. Seriously, I don't. But I do. Me and my husband do. They're having a hard time because I go random. Seriously, I talk from one subject to another. That's me. I should put on here, but like, if you're random, let me know, because I know I'm not alone, because there's a lot of people that are random when they talk. The reason why I mentioned that they're having a hard time is I'm sure a lot of you are experiencing this with your own kids. When they lose a sibling, it's hard, you know. It's like a part of them's gone. Like just like you being a parent or parents, it's like a part of you's gone. And that one child seems to balance the other ones out somehow. And that's where Mariah was. I mean, I hate talking about her past tense. It's hard because to me, I believe, she's in somewhere else. Like she's. Some people believe that when people die, they go to heaven. Me personally, if somebody asks me a question like, do you believe in heaven and hell, or do you believe there's like another dimension, or like, I don't think people, to me, people don't know where they go unless they pass away themselves. They know where they go. Um, but whatever beliefs they have, that's fine with me. But to me, I think they go to another dimension and they're still here. You know, there have been sightings of ghosts and different things. Um, Me personally, if I was asked if I saw an angel, yes, I have. And some people would think I'm nuts. There's no such thing as angels. Well, I have seen one. Saw one when I was 14. Haven't seen one since. Me and my cousin saw this angel. It was at my grandparents' house. That's another story in itself. But back to me believing in heaven or not, or hell. We are in hell, okay? We're basically living in hell because of Trumpkin. He is a freaking. I don't want to say he's a devil because that's insulting the devil, right? He's just freaking piece of you know what. And um, it's if Mariah was here, she'd be so mad and so heartbroken that so many people are losing their lives every day because of him. I mean, he sent our military to Iran. Iran? That's not Iran. It's Iran, right? Iran. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm saying people's countries right and how to say their names and stuff like that because they deserve that, right? I mean, I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. So it's Iran. I like Iran better than Iran because it sounds a lot better like Iran. Like I mean, I don't know. That word sounds cool to me, but I think it's sad that so many people lost their lives because of Dinky Doink. That's his new name, Dinky Doink. Dinky Doink, Tiny Hands. I don't know why he has tiny hands. Is that why he's pissed off? Is that why he hates himself so much? I think he's in the closet, if you ask me. A lot of his cabinet programmed. That's what it was. His wife's programmed. So is Caitlin Levette. She's programmed to say anything he says, wants him to say. Just like Pam Booty Bomb. Pam Booty Bomb. That's her name. Pam Booty Bomb. I'm telling you, I make up all these names. But anyways, back to Iran. What's going on there is sad. And Trumpkin, Dinky Doink, Tiny Hands, he wants to go and destroy other people's lives. Iran has nothing to do with us, okay? They haven't done nothing to us. But because of him and his actions, they're probably going to retaliate, which I don't know. I hope not. I hope and pray they don't. But if they do want him, oh well. I am tired of hearing innocent people dying every day because of him. I'm tired of innocent people being destroyed by him. I'm tired of everything he's doing, and he's getting away with it, and nobody's going in there doing an insurgent, really. If this was Barack Obama, if this was Joe Biden, if this was Kamala Harris, if this was, you know, other people that are not doing horrible things to our country. There's other people too that haven't done horrible things. Representative Stansberry, I mean, I love her. She's amazing. I appreciate what she's doing. Ha! I guess you know which state I'm in, huh? Um, there's so much that he's done. It's heartbreaking. Nobody's going in there doing an insurgent on him. You know, there's more people protesting than there are of him, which I am very proud of. And there's other countries, I'm sure, that are probably watching me. But I would like to say to all those that are standing up against Trumpkin, I appreciate it. I love your artwork. I really do. There was, I don't know which country it was. I'm sorry. Um, it could have been in Europe. I think it's in Europe. Um, that they do these posters and they post them up. And I don't know who's doing the artistry on it, but they had one of like him looking like Hitler. You know which ones I'm talking about? Him and his vagina vents and all these other dictators. You know, there's a dictator in China. There's a dictator in Russia. I feel sorry for some of those people that are in those countries because there's some people in those countries that don't agree with them at all. They don't. So we can't hate the whole entire country because they're not all like that. So I just want to say I do feel sorry for people in Russia. I feel sorry for people in China. I mean, China's actually striving. I mean, have you seen them? Their country, them and Korea. I mean, Asian countries are moving forward while our country in the United States is back assward. They are. I mean, some people are afraid of technology, and then there's some people that are not. I mean, there's been technology for centuries, if you think about it. There's different types of technology. I mean, if you actually learn about history, there is. And also, Bill Gates is not a genius. The first computer was not done by him. Just so you guys know that. Look it up in history. Um, Elon Musk, rat. He's a muskrat. I don't even know why people even said it was okay for him to run our country. He's not even from here. He's from South Africa. Send his ass back to South Africa. Have them deal with him. Because him and his family have done genocide. It's true. How else do they make billions and have that land? They murdered innocent people in Africa, really. His grandfather is part of the Nazi regime. And his mom is proud of it. Is his mom alive still to this day? And then he treats his child like she doesn't matter. She is who she is. Yeah, she was born looking a certain way on the outside, but on the inside, that's who she is. She's a person. She's a human being. Just because there's a child that's born looking like they are on the outside doesn't mean that's how they feel on the inside. And there's a lot of kids that go through confusion and hurt because that's who they are and they matter. And I have a family member and she's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. I mean, she really is. She's very beautiful. And I accept her for who she is because she's a beautiful girl. I mean, she's smart. I mean, some of the stuff she says is funny. She's an amazing kid. All these kids are. I mean, kids go through so much when they're young. And it doesn't matter who they are. They're confused about what adults say. You know, this one's saying this one's saying that. It's like they're stuck in the middle. Who cares what color you are? Who cares who you are? Just as long as you're treated with respect and understanding. I mean, everybody can use a friend, right? I wasn't raised to hate on people, but I will judge those that hate on others for no reason because I have no respect for that. And for all those families that are going through so much and others are judging them because of who their children are, it's like, really? Are you jealous of them or what? I mean, really? You're going to hate on a child because they're different? Because of who they are? Who they were born as? I mean, you can't change who they were born as. You can't. It's just who they are. I mean, enough of this hatefulness on people. Because we're all here for a reason. And the only reason why the earth is collapsing is because we're all hating on each other. We're supposed to help one another. I mean, our country, the United States, do you realize there's so many countries helping us with all kinds of stuff? Helping us live from day to day? I mean, there's food from other countries. There's technology from other countries. There's clothing from other countries. There's stuff to build homes and stuff. I mean, there's tools, all kinds of stuff, that other countries have built. We are who we are because of other countries, And what this country is about is for all people, not just one-sided. I can go into detail about why, how our country came about. But see, to me, if you look at the buildings in Washington, they're a carbon copy from Greece. If you look at Greece's buildings, they're old buildings. Maybe there's buildings still standing. I don't know, because I've never been to Greece. But anybody who's been to Greece or is from Greece, I would love to know about your history. I want to learn about all kinds of people's history. But still, people want to hate on people so much. What did they do to you so bad to make you hate on them? It's kind of funny when Joe Biden was president and there's stimulus checks coming out, right? And he signed that off so people can get them. And those people that are Trumpkin supporters, they got those stimulus checks. Don't you think they should give them back if they feel that way? If they want to hate on him so much, want to hate on other people so much? Do you realize when Joe Biden was in the White House as president, because he was the actual president? I'm quoting because he was. And Vice President Kamala Harris, who's running for presidency again, you go girl. Jasmine Crockett's running for Senate. I love that girl too. If you ever seen her videos or how she talks to people, I'm like, dang, that girl's savage. That's the type of person we need to stand up and rise up from things. And I notice a lot of women are standing up. And I'm happy for that because it's okay to be a woman, have a voice. And those women just want to keep siding with Trump and go ahead because karma's going to hit. And when it does, it's going to hit bad. And especially when you hurt people, ruin their lives, Our governor had to, there was $31 million, I think, that they passed in our state to help people who didn't get their food stamps, to help feed their children. And there's people that judge people that are on food stamps. Well, there's people that are working that are on food stamps. There's people that are disabled on food stamps. There's people that have kids that are disabled, or family members that are disabled, or have illnesses that are on food stamps. Imagine only getting paid $10 an hour. Your rent is like $1,000, a little over 1,000, because you have to get a 2-bedroom. I mean, even a 4-bedroom is like over $1,000 a month, unless there's help, and that's where funding comes in with HUD housing. You know, unless you're in that situation, you have no right to judge people like that. You don't. And, you know, people that get Social Security who are Trumpkin fans, I don't think they should get Social Security. Why should they? I mean, there's people I know of that were scared that they were going to lose their Social Security. I mean, when you have loved ones that are disabled and that can't work, that's not their fault. Sometimes they become disabled because of different situations. Could have been an illness, could have been, you know, stuff that's happened to them, you know, besides being sick, or their the depression and anxiety, PTSD. You know, there's just so many things that have happened to people, or that's who they are. I mean, they can't help being born that way. You know, if I could, I would be a teacher to help kids with learning disabilities. Any kid. I mean, I think elementary school, you know, kindergarten would be fun. Because those little kids, they like to listen to music a lot and do different things. I mean, that's when they're starting to learn a lot of stuff. And then you get into high school. I mean, I would like to teach high school. And, you know, because when they're teenagers, hormones and all this other stuff, you know. Yes, kids get hormones. They have hormones. And some people want to not, you know, I don't know. It's a hard situation, hard topic to talk about, because there's some people that are for the hormone stuff when they're younger. I don't agree with it when they're younger. I think they should be able to grow and be who they are. And then when they get older, if that's something they want to do, that's something they want to do. You know, you can't force surgery on a child. I mean, that's their decision when they get older. But let them grow and be who they are. Let them show who they are. And if they show on the outside that they are a girl, they show on the outside that they are a boy, let them be that way. That's who they are. And let them go and play with friends and have fun. That's what it's all about. I mean, seriously, there's too much hate. I appreciate all those that are, you know, are accepting of others, you know. But then there's people that are judgmental, you know. They're religious people. Some of them are very judgmental. And I'm not religious. I'm, well, I'm not a Satanist or an Antichrist, which some people probably think I am. I'm not. I'm very spiritual. I'll just say that. I don't believe in just one God. I believe in gods and goddesses. Um, I don't know all their names because there's so many, but we all have our own beliefs, and that's okay. I wish somebody would create a new belief where everybody accepts one another, doesn't matter what they believe in. So that'd be a good belief to believe in. Everybody, it's okay. But if you're gonna hate on somebody because of their beliefs, then you're a hypocrite because you're saying, "Oh yeah, I accept everybody," but yet you only want to accept people that are just like you. I mean, if everybody was the same, looked the same, believed in the same, all the same thing, did the same thing, had the same taste in music, movies, we all were the same, right? All looked alike. Do you know how boring that would be? Like, you'd be sick and tired looking at somebody that looked like you all the time. I'm not talking about twins or triplets or something like that. I'm talking to like people in general. If we all look alike, it'd be a boring world. Very boring. And some people want to fall off the cliff because it's so boring. That's why there's so many people that are different shades of color. Their ideas are different. Um, who they are. I mean, their personalities are different, but similar, I guess. I mean, if you look at other countries and their food, that's a good example. Me and my husband watch Chef Ramsay and on different shows because he has so many. But on Master Chef, they have different cultures on there, and it's really cool. You know, they're accepting of that, which is cool. You watch Hell's Kitchen, and it's like, who cares where you come from as long as you can cook? That's all that matters. I can't cook, seriously. Don't ask me to bake something or create something with food because I am horrible at it. I can make a roast, I can make spaghetti, I can make Alfredo, I can make a baked potato in the microwave, but I'm not a good cook. My husband's a good cook. Um, but I do notice that like we have similarities in food from all over the world. Um, we just make things a little spicier or a little sweeter, or did you know that France, look it up, who has the number one desserts? Get mad at me for all I say about this, but France has the number one desserts. Number one. Yes, there's other countries that have good desserts, don't get me wrong, they do, but France is number one. I could be wrong. Google could be wrong. So if anybody knows who, I would love to know what kind of desserts other countries make, other cultures. Like whether you're from the United States, whether you're from other countries. I mean, I would like to know like what is the main dessert in your culture? Like, what is it? Um, I know a lot of people have pies. A lot of people have pastries. A lot of people have. I mean, like, is there like different ice creams and stuff? Because I was trying this French ice cream, and I got it from Walmart a lot. Um, there was a red velvet ice cream, and it was French, and I'm like, I can't remember the name. I'm sorry, but it was so good. And then once Trump started this whole tariff thing, it was gone. It's like off the shelf. So I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it came from Canada, but it's so good. I recommend that ice cream. I really do. So I hope we get the ice cream back. It's really, really good. If anybody knows what ice cream I'm talking about, it also had like this cornbread ice cream. I didn't think I was gonna like it because I'm not really into cornbread, but it was good. And I wish they would bring that French ice cream back because it was good. Really, really, really good. I love red velvet cake. Um, they should make an eggnog cake ice cream. If anybody's made that, that's good. That has to be good. I tried red velvet cake eggnog and it was so good and they didn't have it anymore. I can't find it, and why do they only have eggnog around November and December? But yet, after that, they get rid of it. Why? Why don't they have it all year long? There's a lot of people like eggnog. Um, I used to dip my biscochitos that my mom would make in my eggnog, and it was so good. But now I can't have that. I can't have sweets anymore. That's because I found out I was diabetic. Actually, going back to Mariah, told you I was random. I didn't start taking good care of myself. Even when me and my husband were taking care of her, she became bedridden. She went from being able to walking on her tiptoes, till being in a wheelchair. They tried having her use a walker, but now, she ended up bedridden. That was hard, getting her up and getting her in a wheelchair and having to go to her doctor appointments. Before that, she lost weight. She went from 170 down to 123. And from October to April. So it's October, November, December, January, February, March, April. In 6 months, she lost so much weight. On April 29th, 2022, she ended up in the hospital. Found out she had a huge mass on the right side of her hip. So scary. I just hoped it was like something they could just like take out. I thought it was like, she's backed up or something. That's not what it was. They did a biopsy on her twice in her back, and the doctor said it looks like Ewing sarcoma cancer. I was like, what? What's that? I didn't know what Ewing sarcoma was. And he said, yeah, and the way she was reacting to things, like she was a child. She it was a few days before, it was like, her birthday was May 2nd, and how do you tell your child, like, by the way, it looks like you could have Ewing sarcoma cancer? Like, the word cancer in general, it's like, how do you tell her or him, I had to be the one to tell her. And she said, Mom, when am I going home? And I said, you're not. She's like, why? My birthday is coming up. So she had a biopsy, I think, the 30th. Around the 30th or 31st of April, she had her biopsies. She had a biopsy on the 31st, and then she had one on the 1st of May. Her birthday was May 2nd. And the people at Presbyterian, this lady had a room decorated and some stuff. But she had to move from the PICU unit because she was in the pediatrics ICU, and they moved her to this other room, which was small as hell. It was so small that I felt claustrophobic, and so did she. I didn't really like being at Presbyterian. Some of the people were like rude. I'm not saying all of them, but some people. So she switched to UNM pediatrics because supposedly the head doctor of oncology said, well, we can't do nothing for her, so we're going to have to move her to UNM Pediatrics. I'm like, he's over here telling my mom and my aunt this, right? And before that, I was telling the social worker, I want to switch Mariah to UNM Pediatrics. He was a rude doctor. He came into Mariah's room and he said, I need to talk to your daughter. I was like, okay. But she doesn't really want to talk to anybody. So what do you have to say? He's like, well, I need to talk to her, so you need to shush. I'm like, what? I was about to go like raise somehow. Seriously. I was like, my daughter doesn't want to talk to anybody. She even told him, I don't want to talk to you. You want to talk to my mom or rude? I'm not talking to you. I want to hear what you have to say. I've already heard enough. I want to go back to sleep. And he left. And I told Mariah, you know what? We're just going to get you out of here. Because some people in my family were like, you need to go to UNM. They'll do a lot better than Presbyterian. Well, she went to UNM Hospital, Pediatrics, and I was like amazed. Like, the room was bigger. The nurses were like hands-on. They were like, are you okay? Is your daughter okay? Does she need anything? We'll get her anything she wants to eat, drink, whatever. Do you want anything? You know, they were like really cool people. And I noticed there was an extra bed in there. I was like, am I allowed to sleep on there? Because they were like, yeah, it's for the families, you know. And they always made me and Mariah feel like family. And she was there for almost 4 months. And when they finally got the diagnosis, they said, your daughter has Ewing sarcoma cancer metastatic. I was like, what does that mean? They said that the cancer's all over her body. Well, she did chemo, 14 rounds of it, and the chemos were shrinking. She started eating more. She was on medication to help her eat. And she was on it for a couple months. She started gaining weight. She started eating better. She was like feeling better, you know. I'm not saying she was cured or anything, but she was feeling better than she was when she was actually eating. The only problem was she couldn't feel when she had to go. They got that big, huge mass out when she had radiation. And they said the mass looked like it kind of damaged her. The chemo actually did damage her. I'm going to be honest, it did. But it shrunk the tumors and stuff. And they said it's a possibility she will be infertile with the chemo. She could have heart problems. You know, all that stuff they say. And it made me sad for her because not only did she have cancer, Ewing sarcoma cancer at 17, she was trying to finish high school at the same time. And I remember my niece Beatrice, she went to go visit Mariah a couple times, and she had lupus. She passed away that year in October. And it's all sunny outside. People driving by, you know. Mariah and Beatrice were very close. Very, 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 very close. They were like sisters, you know. Beatrice was older. She was like 33 or something like that. So she always thought Mariah was her little sister, you know. She took care of her at times, you know. When she stayed at my mom's house, Mariah would go to my mom's. She was at my mom's a lot, and her and Beatrice would spend time together. They'd go get ice cream, whatever, you know. Beatrice has kids, and they lost their mom, you know. But Mariah, you know, she was devastated. She didn't want to finish school, but I said, Mariah, this is what you want. You wanted to finish school, you're gonna finish it. And I'm gonna make sure you finish it. I'm gonna call the school, set it up. So this is where the Department of Education comes in. She was on a 504 program to where she can do her schooling in the hospital. She had tutoring. She had tutoring at home. I mean, she was feeling better, and of course, she still had the Ewing sarcoma cancer, but she looked a little healthier. You know, she gained weight. She's good. You know, she works so hard, so hard with her schooling. And then of May 2023, she finally got to go home almost 4 months after being in the hospital. So it was almost like July, July or something like that. But in May 23, she graduated high school, and we took her to her high school graduation. It was horrible though because it was raining, and she had lost hair because of the chemo and the radiation. You know, I don't know if other people have lost hair when they had radiation or not, but her hair didn't grow back for a while, you know, because her hair was growing back, and it took a while for it to grow back. And she had this pretty wine-colored wig that she wore. It was shoulder length. It was beautiful. My sister did her makeup, and she wore this wine-colored dress, and she looked beautiful. I mean, her picture of her graduation, you know, that I took that day. Graduation pictures are expensive. Pictures in general are expensive when kids are in school. And so after her graduation, I took her picture, and I told her put it out like this, and she did. And the way she did it was like, you'll see, if you ever get her book, The End of the Rose, you'll see a picture of her in it. She looked beautiful. Um, what is this? Craziness going on outside. I don't know what this is about. Oh, it's a dog catcher. You never know what's going on in the neighborhood. It's quiet. I'm glad it's quiet in this neighborhood. I mean, there's a small town, very, very small. You know, we have the National Balloon Fiesta worldwide. A lot of people from around the world come here, which is cool. You know, I've seen other, balloons. We saw like 8 balloons set up right by our home. And I have video of it. I should post it on here, so that people can see it, how the balloons are going up. And these people were helping these other people, go up in their balloon. And I was like, that is cool. People just go out of their way and just help one another. So anybody who's in another country, they come here to New Mexico. We love to see balloons from all over. There was this family that came from Michigan, and they had a cool balloon. They even gave out cards and stuff. I think they all give out cards for their balloons, but there were some that were flying up in the air, and they were like really cool, but I couldn't exactly see because they were a little further away. Kind of looked like a spaceship or something. It was funny. There was a Darth Vader one. Oh, whoever has that Darth Vader one, that was cool. I love Star Wars. Our kids love, like our older son, he loves Star Wars too. Mariah loves Star Wars. Yoda is my fave. Um, I watched Mandalorian. That show was pretty good. I didn't like the last two Star Wars movies because the way it ended, I thought it was dumb. Had nothing to do with the Skywalkers at all. It had to do with somebody else using that name. Like it's a um, like it's not even somebody's last name. They're just using it for themselves. Like it's some logo they're using. It's just crazy. Um, if anybody works for Disney, I just like to say I like a lot of your movies, but when you did Star Wars, the last couple of them, what were you thinking? How come R2D2 and 3PO weren't added in much? Where were the Ewoks? Where were they? They were part of Star Wars. They even had their own extension 2 movies. Where were they? I think it's sad that they didn't add the Ewoks. Come on. And then Carrie Fisher, she passed away while doing it. I don't think they honored her very well. And they should have honored her better. She was a great actress. Her mom was a great actress. Sad that they died one by one, you know. Dang, there's a lot of things going on in the world, isn't there? I know some people would ask me what I thought about Britney Spears. You know, to me, some of those photos of her, they look old. They look kind of photoshopped. Um, until Britney Spears actually comes out and says she did that, I'm not going to believe it. I'm sorry. There's just a lot of mystery going on about her. Like, where's she hiding at? Like, where is she? How come nobody goes to her home and checks on her? Go to her home. Walk your little butt to her home. Drive over there where she's living and go check on her instead of speculating and saying, wow, she's a horrible person and she should be back on her conservatorship because she's crazy. If I had bipolar, I had PTSD, I had anxiety, I had stuff happen to me. Are you going to call me crazy? Are you going to say that I belong on a conservatorship? Because I don't. Who are you to say that, anyways? Have you noticed what her family's done to her? Have you noticed that they don't really stand up for her very much? Where are those people at? How come we only heard from her, 4 years ago? Yeah, she married Sam. And he won't even say anything. Have you seen his interviews? And he's asked, well, have you talked to Britney? No. She needs to live her life and she needs privacy and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, you're not going to talk to your ex-wife and wonder how she's doing? When other people are saying she's crazy and psycho and, I'm not saying it. I mean, I've been a fan of her since I was a kid. I mean, come on. She's like younger than me. I'll just say that. Spam calls. Do you guys ever get these? I get spam calls all the time. My husband gets them 20 times a day. It's annoying. Anybody that does that, it's annoying. Calling 20 times a day. Have you got your senior card, for groceries? How old are you? Oh, sorry, you're not old enough. Or like, do you need help with funeral expenses? Where were you when our daughter died? You could have helped us then. But no, instead, we had to do a GoFundMe before our daughter. And it's sad to say she doesn't have a tombstone yet because they cost money. They do. The standing ones are expensive. I don't even know why they're so expensive. When somebody passes away, they should be able to get it like free or something. After they pay for everything else. Really? You think the family's going to think about a headstone That's what I meant, not a tombstone. A headstone. A tombstone is a tomb that somebody's in. Sorry. A headstone. She doesn't have one. I mean, someday my mom's gonna. I hope years and years from now she passes away. Not right now. I mean, I love my mom, but that's where she's gonna be when she passes away. Right next to Mariah, so there's gonna be her name and Mariah's. But it's expensive. It's like $10,000 or 5,000 or however thousands it is for a stupid headstone. It has to be stood up. So all she has is a plate with her name. Not even her full name. Like it says M. Archibek on there. And when she passed away, her birthday and her. You know those metal plates are like this big? Almost 2 years she doesn't have one. And people are complaining, oh, my hair looks like this. My face looks like this. I really don't care what somebody looks like. Like I said, look at me. Don't have makeup on. Some days I wear makeup, some days I don't. I don't feel like it. Some days I want to dress up, some days I don't. And it's okay. But there's a lot more going on in the world than that. And one of the reasons why we're trying to get our daughter's book out there more, which is on Walmart, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay. I don't even understand why eBay's selling it for like $40. Seriously, I mean, some people I don't think are going to buy a book for $40 that has 110 pages in it. But it is worth buying it, I can tell you that. Mariah put her heart and soul into it. She wrote it while she was sick. My mom gave her the idea to write her feelings down, and instead she wrote a book. It's like, I miss her a lot. My husband misses her, kids miss her, our whole family misses her. I miss her niece Beatrice. You know, after Beatrice passed away, my cousin Christina passed away from She passed away from chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS, ME. They have CFS/ME. I don't know what the ME stands for. Somebody's gonna have to tell me that. But my cousin Christina passed away because of that. She looked like she was normal on the outside, and sicker and sicker, and her mom and dad took care of her, and Mariah was fighting so hard. She wanted to live, but these doctors pushed her into pediatrics hospice. She didn't want that. They told her if she could try it for a week or two, and she didn't like it because she had a double port. And they accessed her and they gave her hydromorphone and generic brand of Versed. And anybody who's ever heard of those meds, Versed is actually banned in our country, but yet they can use a generic brand. Explain to me that a medicine is banned in our country, but yet you can still use the generic brand. She wanted off of it. You know, she was on gabapentin, she was on oxybutyrin, she had Benadryl, she had some other meds I can't remember, but she was on all these meds, and she had to push the button, you know. And when she didn't press it, I was putting CBD THC oil on her. And anybody that is against that, I don't care, because it's legalized in our state. Did you know that marijuana has been around for centuries? And guess where it came from? Guess where it came from? I think it came from Asia. I think even the Egyptians used it. Centuries ago. They used it in teas. They used it in food. I mean, tea is part of food because you drink it, but they actually use it for different things, even like for medicinal purposes, medications, and people complaining about it now. Hello, it's a plant, it's an herb. People have been using it for centuries, so you can't get mad that it's been around for centuries. Now you can get mad at the man-made stuff like cocaine and heroin and what else? Um, Meth. Um, there's a lot of drugs out there. There's even drugs that are prescribed to people that people overdose on. Those who judge people that do marijuana should try it themselves because those are the ones that don't. And the only way that you can get addicted to it is if you laced it with something. I'm not addicted to it. Yes, I admit it, I do it too. But I don't smoke cigarettes. I mean, that's worse than marijuana. That's way worse. And yet it's sold in our country. People are getting cancer, throat cancer. So which would you rather have? Cigarettes or would you rather have marijuana? Or as they call it, weed or pot or, the green. So people out there that are judging, you quit judging. Try it yourself. Because that oil that was homemade with marijuana had teas in it. It was healthy. It helped Mariah's pain. She tried the gummies too, and those would help her. But yet, when she was on a generic brand of Versed and hydromorphone, she had gabapentin, and all this other stuff, she even had ketamine. She had it like 5 times before she passed away. I didn't even know much about ketamine. They just said it was a pain medicine. I was like, okay. I didn't give it to her when they told me to. She was homebound, and she would make me laugh. We watched the Golden Girls, we watched Mike and Molly, we watched Disney movies. She loved Encanto, Coco, Frozen. In fact, her dog's name is Olaf. He's a anybody who saw my last talking that I did talked about Olaf. He's a mixed Chihuahua. He looks like the color of a burrito, like the tan and the white mixed together. And then there's my dog, Russell. He's a Russell Terrier mix. Me and my husband aren't sure what the other mixture is, but he's fluffy, and I'll show you one of these days what he looks like. He's cute. I gotta cut his hair. Olaf has short hair, so he doesn't need his haircut, but they're both cute dogs, but Olaf's more high strung. He's more one of those type of dogs that will bark at a lot of people, and Russell's like, whatever, if he senses that he doesn't like you, then that's when, I wouldn't want to pet him. But he's a friendly dog, very protective. So Olaf's very, very protective. I would not want people that I didn't know in this home. I mean, unless he's in the backyard or something. He's very protective, I have to say. He goes off. They're good dogs. And Mariah loved her dogs. She loved him a lot. She named him Olaf after Olaf from Frozen. She even watched that with our youngest daughter, Maiden. By the way, her name is not spelled with an I. It's a Y. Some people haven't heard of that name like that. My husband named her It's a really cool name. It's not common, like mine. I'm not gonna say what my real name is, but you do know what my name is on here. So um, that's my other name. People go by different names, and that's my name. Yeah, Angel's my name, but I'm not gonna say what my real name is. It's too dang popular. Um, I just don't want people to know much about me like that. I mean, but um, now you know what my kids' names are. Um, Steven's name is on this book, and I made sure it was on here. See it? And then Mariah's name. I made sure that they did the letters like that. Also, if you're blind, you can actually read this book. I mean, the words, Mariah wanted the words big enough so people could read it, not all teeny tiny. I'll show you a picture of her. That's her. I mean, she was very pretty. I mean, she was beautiful. And she came up with different titles for different chapters, like Remember Me for I Have Not Been Forgotten. I mean, just the way she wrote her, like My Shattered Heart. Um, I can read like some of this book. Um, in the Royal Kingdom, there lived a girl named Caro Anika Medianoche. For short, most people called her Caro. She was often playing in the forest when the gorgeous sunlight hit her beautiful glowing skin, running and exploring as if her brown eyes were caught in a haze, just as a child normally would. She has lovely black hair that flows behind her delicately like waves. She found a rather intriguing iridescent rose and took it home with her because she was rather fond of it. One of the generals of the Knights Round Table struck her because she was accused of practicing witchcraft. Instead of being hit on the hand, she was struck in the face with the sharp spikes on the knight's armor that pierced like razor blades. The pain eventually subsided, however, she was left with a scar on the forehead that reminded her of that shameful day. Carl, at about 9 years old, ran off into the forest and discovered a house, a very strange house that was dark and gloomy, which stood near the river bank. She would often visit that area because it reminded her of her mother's numerous stories about the land that once settled in silence there. As Carl walked onto the black, dark, and creaky porch, she found sorry, where was I? As Carl walked onto the black, dark, and creaky porch, she found a small collection of magical items. She passes the magical items by and curiously opens the front door. Carl stood in terror and stared at the woman who suddenly appeared before her. The small woman was wearing a white dress with navy blue flats, and her gray and white wavy hair was hanging loose at her shoulders. "Who are you?" the woman asked. Carl hesitantly began saying, "My name is," as the woman interrupted her. "Never mind. I know exactly who you are," the woman exclaimed. "You do?" Carl asked confusedly. "Of course I do," the woman said, as she looked down at her cauldron. "No need for introduction, my dear, but I am Vladimir. Many have tried finding this place because they believed I could assist them in solving their problems, but they all failed. But that's not important right now," she says. "Okay then, who am I?" Carl asks. "The real question you should be asking is who you will become." Sorry. Vladimir says, pointing her skinny finger at her. "I don't understand," Carl says. "Child, I see dark forces in your path. but your faith will not change. For those whom you thought were your friends will later on betray you, Vladimir foretold her as she disappeared. As Carl left the house, she was confused by what she had just witnessed. She never had seen anything like that before. Vladimir was there, and then she was gone. Just like that, as years passed by, Carl's 19th birthday was upon her, and she was betrothed to a prince named Alistair Valentine. Alistair, who was 19 as well, was from the northern kingdom where Carl was from. Alistair's blond hair, broad shoulders, and charming smile entranced the damsels of the kingdom. They were also jealous of Carl, who was soon to be his bride. She didn't let that stop her from marrying the prince. On the night of the party, just before the wedding, a particularly incensed girl named Bethany approached Carl and purposely spilled her goblet filled with dark red wine all over Carl's dress. "What was that for?" Carl exclaimed, as she was furious at the girl for ruining her dress. "That was for stealing my prince," Bethany retorted. "He wasn't yours to begin with, and besides, he chose me because he loves me for me, and unlike you, I'm not marrying him for the money. I'm doing it because—" Bethany cut her short. "Because you have no choice, and you don't love him. You only care about yourself. You may have had your coronation today, but don't act like that will last long." Bethany smirks and brushes past her, shoving Carl out of the way. Carl took a deep breath and headed to her room to get away from the party for a bit. Carl sat on her bed, thinking as she heard a soft knock on the door. "Come in," Carl said. As she opened the door, to much surprise and confusion, Carl is immediately surrounded by Bethany and her friends. "Hey, I wasn't aware that you were coming. Alistair must have summoned you to check up on me. He's always making sure that I'm okay." Carl paused for a minute as the damsels then began to corner her. "What are you all doing? Why are you trying to corner me? Why do you have your hands behind your back, Bethany?" she questioned in fear. "I told you, your reign will not last long," Bethany said. "Alistair never asked us to check on you. Instead, we come to end things between you and him," she said as she was pulling out a knife. "No, I'm not going to let you. I will tell Alistair and the whole kingdom what you're trying to do," Carl started, trying to escape. "I'm afraid that's not an option," Bethany says, pushing Carl down on the hard floor of the kingdom. "Get her, girls," she ordered as her friends started cutting Carl with sharp knives. Bethany and her friends kill Carl and leave her lifeless body with blood pouring from the wounds and blood dripping from her eyes. Bethany runs to Alistair, letting him know of the tragedy, deceiving him as she tells him how she went to check on her and found her bloody body. She describes to Alistair how Carl lay dead on the floor of the bedroom, her eyes filled with nothing but blood, her dress with blood stains that covered the dark red wine Bethany spilled, and her face with cuts and slashes all over her body. Alistair ran upstairs to his bride's room. He was devastated to have found Carl gone, his heart broken too, knowing his one true love was murdered. "Who could have done this to you?" Alistair asked, as tears began to shed from his face. The knights rushed into Carl's bedroom, found her lifeless body on the hard floor, near her closet and Alistair's broken-hearted arms. Carl's father rushed upon to see what all the commotion was. He was distraught to see his daughter's lifeless body in Alistair's arms. He left without his daughter to go make plans for her burial. A day later the knights and Carl's father buried her next to her mother by an oak tree. The oak tree was a special place for her, her mother, and her family where they enjoyed picnics under the shade. They would even all tell each other stories beneath the moonlight and the oak tree. For Carl, it was a tradition to have small get-togethers for her family by the oak tree. But sadly, those traditions faded away after Carl's mother was killed, or so many have thought. The traditions vanished even more after poor innocent Carl was killed in cold blood. It indeed made it harder for the kingdom to bring back those traditions without Caro and her mother to celebrate them gracefully, knowing that both had perished. Late in the evening, Vladimir crept into the cemetery and left with Caro's coffin in which she lay. Vladimir took Caro to her house and healed Caro with exception of her cuts on her face. The cuts turned into scars, and the blood in her eyes remained as her eyes glowed. As Caro awoke with such confusion, she wondered what had happened to her. Vladimir observed her and put a crown with chains that lingered on Caro's head. You may be wondering how you got here, how you're alive, and what happened. Well, let's forget about that for your story is not yet over, Vladimir expresses. Handing Caro a mirror, she gazes into it as she lifts her once white but now black veil from her face and drops it as she tries to scream. However, nothing comes out as her voice box, has been damaged and the mirror shatters all over the floor. I know those girls betrayed you, and I can feel your pain, but listen, what if I told you that I can take all your pain away if you will allow me to fix what has been lost and broken? Vladimir questions. Carl looks at her with confusion as she is handed a blood red rose from Vladimir. Put this in the cauldron, and it will show you your future and your path, Vladimir says. Carl walks over to the cauldron and drops the rose into it. She views the cauldron, trying to see her future without success. Disappointed, she looks down. What bothers you, child? Vladimir asks while walking over to the cauldron observing. Well, this is odd. I guess only the living can see their future with blood rose. Suddenly a necklace with a moon on it appeared. Well, go on, take it. The necklace chose you, Vladimir says. Carl takes the necklace from the cauldron and puts on a red jacket that Vladimir hands her. Carl puts her veil down over her face and cries, but no sound comes out of her voice. There's one more thing I'm forgetting. That necklace has many abilities, one of them being that you'll be able to speak once more and take those who wronged you and destroy their hearts. Now go and take this blood rose and remind all of them who you are. Lady Midnight, Vladimir says, disappearing yet again. Lady Midnight vanishes in the night, soon after looking to get revenge on those who wronged her. Little did Vladimir know that eventually karma would come and take its course. Interesting, isn't it? Once was lost, now is broken. Centuries later, in the year 2022, a museum tour guide was explaining the story of a betrothed queen. This is boring. I mean, there is no such thing as witchcraft or witches in general, comments a schoolgirl wearing black leather jacket, blue turtleneck shirt, black glasses, and her hair up in a bun. I know you may think it's not real, but some would disagree, the tour guide replies. Yeah, whatever, the girl remarks. Well, what do you think really happened? Tour guide pauses as she reads the girl's name tag. Lilith? The tour guide asks. Lilith stares, speaking, but made the decision of not responding back for some particular reason. That's what I thought. If you can't keep your mouth shut during a tour, then you shall not be here at all, tour guide scolded. Okay, I'm sorry. But if it is true, then where is she, Lilith? Of whom are you referring? Of whom are you referring? The tour guide questioned. Caro, of course. If she's real, then where is she? Lilith questions. The tour guide looks at the time and then back at her. Time's up. Looks like that's the end of the tour. And it's time to close up the museum, the tour guide says, ignoring the question. You never answered my quest, Lilith says, being interrupted by the tour guide. End of the tour. Now leave, nerd. The tour guide retorts, shooing her way. Lilith leaves and heads home, thinking about the story tour guide was telling. After everyone left the museum, the lights start flickering, and music from one of the exhibits starts playing. A security guard rushes over to the exhibit and looks around to see where the music was coming from. Meanwhile, one of the voices warns, "You shall be punished for your crimes." He stood there, perplexed, as if there were ripples in his mind. Is this some kind of joke? Who's there? Whoever you are, isn't funny. The security guard directs his flashlight towards an exhibit. A figure wearing black dress and red jacket appeared in front of the music box, which mysteriously kept playing by itself. She wears a golden necklace with the moon hanging from it. On her head is a crown with chains looped around it and attached to a black veil. Wearing black gloves, she emerges from the dark in front of him. The security guard runs and tries to get help, but the figure was too fast for him. Screams echoed throughout the exhibit hall. In the museum, the security guard was never seen again. At least his body wasn't. The next day, officers surrounded the museum. A detective named Kia Lansky walks over to the crime scene. Everyone she knew called her Lansky, but her family would just call her Kia. "All right, what do we have here?" Detective Lansky asked, as she studies two eyeballs laying on the ground. "It looks like the body is gone. All we found are the eyes. That might have belonged to an employee," the gloved officer conjectures, as he places the eyeballs in an evidence bag. "Well, how do you know?" Lansky asked, as she contemplated the contents of the evidence bag. Another officer strides over. "Detective Lansky, we not only found eyes and a flashlight, we found this." The officer shows Detective Lansky a crime scene photo. "That's odd. It looks like writing in blood. But whose blood is this? Is the question." She ponders curiously about what had happened the night before. "Excuse me," the officer asked. "Nothing. I didn't say anything," Lansky comments before walking away. She asks a different officer at the crime scene, "Are there any witnesses?" "No. No one seems to have any recollection of what happened last night, or what happened to the security guard," the officer responds. "Well, it looks like we've got a murder, and the more evidence we encounter, the more convoluted the clues become," Lansky declares, shaking her head. Lansky scrutinized the photo while reading it to herself. "Excuse me, miss," Lansky inquired of the tour guide. "It's Cassie. What do you want?" Cassie rudely answered. "I was wondering, what is that?" Lansky asked, pointing to the exhibit with a white-veiled woman in a dress holding what appears to be blood rose in one hand, along with a partially exposed note in the other. "That's a rose, obviously. I don't see why that's of any importance to you," Cassie says. "No, on the note in her hand," Lansky clarifies. Cassie looks closely at the finger's hands and sees a piece of parchment with writing on it. "I don't understand." Cassie pauses for a minute as a flashlight of memories comes to her of the night her parents were presumed dead and she stood by her house crying. "Excuse me, hello, Cassie," Lansky addresses her as she waves her hand in front of Cassie, who had a blank stare on her face. "What?" "Sorry, I'm sorry. I just remembered something. That note, it's just some old parchment paper that historians found, and, well, now it's here," Cassie hesitantly explains. "Oh, okay. Well, I was just curious. It's just that the writing in the blood of one of the officers found might be connected to the note. Sorry for wasting your time," Lansky says as she leaves the museum. Cassie gulps and walks the opposite direction from Detective Lansky and the officers. Now, does it seem really interesting? Lies unfold. A few hours go by, and Lansky enters her house and thinks about what Cassie said about the note. She looks at the copy of the photo she got from the officer and reads what the writing says to herself. For some mysterious reason, she could not understand the dates on the bottom of writing in the picture. The line of thieves will end, Lansky says as she pulls out her laptop and looks up the year 1686 to see what. Oh shit, I gotta go. Bye, people. I hope you guys enjoyed the story.